recording. We're in excellent condition. And I believe we're live, pal.
We're live on Loser Lee's Wrestling Live. Let's see if oh, we're live. All AEW All Out Prediction Show.
Look at me. Look at these production values.
Excellent job. Very exciting. This is Loser Lee's Wrestling. Loser Lee's Wrestling. This is the news you can't lose with the Loser Lee's Wrestling fam, and it's an all-out prediction show. We're doing a double duty here. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy Hammer. How are we doing, Hammer?
I'm so pumped up. I love professional wrestling, and I'm excited to tell you and anyone who joins us why I love professional wrestling so much right now.
Oh, wow. This is very exciting. We're all in love with pro wrestling. I am also a little in love with the sauce. Last night, I got a little well, I got hungover this morning. Last night, I had too much sauce. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're going to be here talking about the news. This is the news from August 29th to September 4th. And you know what? A lot of nonsense. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of talk of things happening, and then later in the week it was debunked.
Like what?
Oh, well, we'll get into it. But first off, let's start off with the hottest news. The hottest news. My number one thing in my list is former WWE superstars are now free agents. Their 90-day non-competes are over. And so this is for Buddy Murphy, Braun Strowman, Lana, and Ruby Riott. But let's talk about each one real quick. Buddy Murphy, he'd be good in AEW.
I think he should go to Impact or Ring of Honor, personally, because I think he'd make no pun intended, I think he'd make a bigger impact in either one of those companies rather than AEW.
What about Braun?
Braun should also go to Impact, 100% go to Impact.
I see him at Impact more than Buddy Murphy. I just see Buddy Murphy just getting lost in the shuffle over there. Maybe Buddy Murphy would be a MLW because he could go.
Yeah, absolutely. Impact, I think, needs more people who can go. They have champions who are good, but who's going to beat them? They need some people with credibility. So I think,
Lana apparently is not going to be going back to wrestling immediately. She's going to be appearing on the Surreal Life.
Oh, it's
coming back.
Yes,
it's coming back. I'm so excited.
I'm also very excited about that. That's great.
You know, there's a lost season of Surreal Life.
No,
that with Randy Macho Man Savage.
Is that true? Though?
Yeah. I remember reading it on Raja when it was happening, and I was so excited because I love the Surreal Life.
Of course.
And I was like, oh, the new season has Macho Man, Carrot Top, and they filmed it, and they never released it. I have a feeling something bad happened.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me, but I would love to see that. Oh, man.
Oh, I would love to. Sound off in the comments if you'd love to see that as well.
Yeah.
And then we've got Ruby Soho, and just in time for something. But what is this? I hear that the Casino Battle Royale is all filled.
So that's really interesting. Two things about that. One, have you seen any of the videos that she's been posting, like these little vignettes?
No.
They're fantastic. I would recommend. Each one is like a minute and a half, and they're really fantastic. It's just about like her. It's basically her journey to whatever is next, and it's very good. It's probably the best. Hey, I'm a free agent now video that any released WWE wrestler has done.
Oh, you didn't like Jon Moxley escaping from the prison?
That's the second best one because he did that before everybody else did it. So he started the prison trend. Ruby Riott, no prison. It's just like Ruby Soho. Ooh. Yeah, not good. Not good.
Not good.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. I was going to mention, if you saw that piece of news, that Sky Blue, a local Chicago wrestler,
won the final spot.
Yeah, she was huge. She was over big last night, apparently, in a dark match, and they came out and offered her the spot. So that's 21 spots. I wonder if there's just going to be a 22nd. I don't know, or if there's going to be
beaten up.
Yeah, classic 2004 Royal Rumble when Mick Foley beat up Test.
Sure. Or Curtis Axel still hasn't been eliminated.
Axelmania
is still running wild. He's still the only person that's never been. S is in the chat. We got my boy S in there. This show should be called Winners Talk About Wrestling. Oh, you sweet S. Because only winners have pizza parties. Duh. Thank you so much. And we appreciate your comment, S. We appreciate your comment in the last video. We needed you then. Yeah. We needed you then because we were getting bullied. We were getting bullied pretty hardcore. But thank you so much for jumping in, letting us know. Chica Marks is in the chat. S. Oh, bless both of you.
And Chica Marks.
Chica Marks, she drove me home last night. Chica Marks drove me home last night when I was too. Thank you so much. I was too drunk. I wasn't expecting to have that much liquor. I didn't expect it. I made my own little margarita. I made it.
Wait, when you say your own special concoction,
I had tequila and margarita mix.
Sure.
And I made it. Thank you so much, Chica Marks, for getting me home safe. I really appreciate it. It was necessary. Shouldn't drink. I'm feeling it tonight, as we discussed earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Still feeling it. But, Ruby Rye, I'm expecting her to beat someone up.
Yeah. Yep. I'm expecting the last part of her vignette, like part 3 of the vignettes, to play. And then... Here we go. And then she appears, having beaten up like Julia Hart or someone like that.
Oh, poor Julia Hart.
Yeah.
Then we also have in the chat, S is shocked that I know Chica Marks IRL. And yes, I do. And haha, anytime. Lucky. Thank you so much, S. Thank you so much, Chica Marks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Excellent job. Let's move on from my hangover. We can't be talking about that all day.
Yeah.
Moving on. Rumors are abound right now that JR is going to be stepping down from the announce position, but then they were quickly debunked by both Tony and JR. Who do you think's starting these rumors, Roy? Is it Tony Khan?
No, what I think is happening is, and this is potentially true. The people who are getting this information are getting it and sharing it, but the person who's giving the information isn't supposed to be giving it. And it's probably true, but Tony and JR both have to say, like, that's not actually happening, but it could be happening.
I think it's Tony Khan literally going to, like, we're going to be doing this. And he has had these discussions with JR. He's trying to seed it in JR's brain. And he's trying to get into JR's head that I'm too old. Or it just could be making him more resilient, that he'll never step down.
Well, they were talking about, I think in one of the rumors that I read, it's that he's still going to be around for like main events and like bigger matches. He'll still do backstage interviews. He'll still do sit downs. I don't know if you've gotten a chance yet, and we can also, if we have a minute here later to talk about Rampage last night, I can give you the skinny on that.
Sure.
And they're like, what do they call it? The Fallout to All Out, or their like preview show that they do with all the the vignettes and all of that. He does a sit down interview with Punk, and it's the best thing Punk's done since he's come back. Him and JR do really good work together.
This was last night?
This was last night, yeah. This was on their Go Home show, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting the name of it, but yeah.
Lead up.
Yeah.
Or the Rumble before the Rumble. I don't know.
It's going to really drive me crazy what they call that show.
They have a thing they call it, but
the road to all out.
Road to all out. So I think we'll find out. JR shot it down, Tony shot it down, but who knows? Moving on. This is my favorite piece of news of the week. This is my absolute favorite. Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax start shooting on each other on Raw. Going to town, slapping each other, trying to pick each other up.
Have you seen the match? Or at least part of the match?
Yeah, I did.
It's my favorite Nia Jax match ever.
Nia Jax does not take shit.
No.
Nia Jax will never take shit. Not from fucking Charlotte.
Terrifying.
I would love to see Charlotte, because Charlotte is like a great athlete. Great athlete. Never been in a real fight in her life.
Well, the thing that I like about it is Charlotte is an athlete, right? Charlotte's tall. Charlotte's broad. Charlotte can take a hit. So Nia Jax has beaten the shit out of like Kairi Sane before, and that's a bummer because Kairi Sane's so small. But Charlotte can take it. So I want to see them beat the shit out of each other.
I would love to see that. I can't wait. But they had to stop because they're being professional. Devon Dudley says it happens all the time, though. He didn't really.
You called up the friend of the show, Devon Dudley.
Friend of the show, Devon Dudley, let us know. Thank you so much, Devon, for listening and appreciating us. Okay, that's the end of that. Moving on. There's word that tomorrow Daniel Bryan is going to be showing up at All Out. That's really the big news on the block, actually. That's probably the top news. But, do you feel the likelihood that that's going to happen?
Yeah, I feel pretty strongly about it.
Yeah, I because they're not going to do the New York City. They're going to have him do New York City for, what is that called?
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam in New York City, but they stopped that because of COVID protocol and stuff. But they are at that Grand Slam, not to segue into a different topic, they are requiring vaccination proof to get entered in. Very excited for that.
Very excited for that. That is I will say, though, before we put AEW over for doing that, that's a New York City policy and not an AEW policy.
Okay.
For the record.
I know. Actually, you're right. The Bucks wouldn't. The Bucks are like, yeah, you're taking away our freedoms.
They're both vaccinated, for the record.
Jericho's wife is there protesting.
Yeah, that's the one.
She stormed the Capitol.
I know.
Just because of Jim Cornette.
There's a really funny. I saw like a thing on Twitter. He posted something that's like, oh, like happy anniversary to my wife. Like we've been together so long. I love her. And he tagged her. And then you go to her Twitter and it's just like all pro-Trump, all like anti-vax. It's like, maybe I shouldn't have clicked on that to find out.
Yikes.
Yeah. And I will say, here's a bit of an inside scoopy. I was watching, this isn't like, I'm not breaking any news here for the record, but there's the Wrestling Observer newsletter also has like a series of podcasts with different people, and they're all in Chicago for All Out. And I just watched, they do like a free YouTube show, and all of them are sitting and talking. And one of them mentioned that there's going to be potentially another debut at the show. They didn't say who, but they mentioned that there is another person who's not Bryan Danielson, not Ruby Soho, but maybe even another person. Yeah, and I will say, it could be Ric Flair, it could be Adam Cole. He can go wherever he wants to. He can do whatever he wants.
Is he officially a free agent?
Yeah, he's officially a free agent. Most likely, I would say he's probably going to AEW at this point. But yeah, and I know that that's probably true because as he said that, like 5 minutes after he said that, he got a text and he looked at his phone and one of the guys was like, "Did you just get yelled at by someone?" And he was like, "Yeah, I did." So someone who's watching that from AEW who was like, "Shut the fuck up." Stop.
That's very interesting.
So someone else, there's a good chance that we might see somebody else. And I wouldn't be surprised if I'm curious about this too, and this is maybe another piece of news that you have. So Pac isn't going to make it to All Out to fight Andrade, but Andrade did tweet something where it's a graphic of Andrade and then a question mark, and the tweet was like, "I will still fight at All Out against a mystery opponent." So either Ric Flair is coming out with Andrade or someone else is going to debut to fight Andrade, potentially.
There's just too many new things happening, and it's diluting everything. It's really diluting everything. We haven't even seen Punk wrestle yet, and we're already over it. It's. I'm excited to see him wrestle, and hopefully that will reignite what's going on. But I just feel like there's just too many people debuting. No one feels it's starting not to feel special. And I think we blew Chico Marx's mind with the Jericho's wife news. And really. Oh my God, really? Yeah,
big time.
She stormed the Capitol. She was the reason that
she was there.
She was leading the charge. She broke down the walls.
She also stole a flag from there, but she didn't take a picture with it, so she didn't.
She did?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
She did? No, it's official. It's an LLW exclusive. Roy has an interview with Christy Jericho. Moving on. We have to get out of here. We got to get out of this. Bad news. Sad news. Sad news. The wrestling world mourns the passing of Daphne, TNA and WCW star Daphne, and unfortunately she passed away. And it's likely that it was suicide. She was definitely having mental health issues. If you're having mental health issues, reach out. Reach out to us.
Absolutely.
We're here for you. Or reach out to anyone. But sad news.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very sad.
Were you a Daphne kid? Did you like Daphne?
You know what? I was.
You were a WCW guy.
I was a WCW guy, and from a very young age, I didn't know what it was when I was 10 or 11 years old, but I always was like, punk rock is cool. So to see someone who's not like tall, leggy, and blonde on WCW, like that was the woman of WCW that I was most appealed to. And I also really liked Crowbar.
Oh, sure.
And they were a duo along with David Flair, who I was less into. But
I hated Crowbar, actually. With the few times I watched WCW when I was like on like their Saturday or Sunday show, I would watch it and I saw Crowbar. I'm just like, he just wants to be Al Snow. He just wants to be Al Snow so fucking bad. And I was just like, I just looked at everyone like, and then I saw the Juventud. He's like, do you smell what the juice is cooking? I'm just like, everyone's just ripping off WWE. Everyone is ripping off WWE. There's like nothing I like about this.
But I think there's a couple of things to like mention real quickly with Daphne. When she passed away, there was a lot of like outpouring, obviously, of love from different wrestlers, and I guess she's done a lot of things that I never knew about. Like she worked a lot on the indies. She worked with guys like Chris Hero, and she worked with Shark Boy, where she was Shark Girl. They were a duo, which is like really pretty cool. And the other thing to think about too is one of the things that she had mentioned right before her passing was that she wanted to send her brain to Boston because that's Chris Nowinski, and I think I don't know if you've read about that whole situation, like when she got her series of concussions in TNA when working in TNA. It's tough. They put her in the ring with like a very, very large, overweight woman who had just come from Bubba Ray's training academy.
Jesus.
Yeah, and she like broke her sternum, got a concussion, and then a lot of things happened to her in TNA that I think led to a lot of this post-concussion syndrome, which led to some other things as well. So it's good to see that wrestling has come a much farther way in a short period of time as far as concussion protocols and taking better care of the wrestlers.
Very short time. Yeah. I was just watching Impact's Twitch channel before. Sure. I always watch it Saturday mornings. I watch there right before, and they were just showing Bubba Ray matches, a Bully Ray match. And I love Bully Ray. I love Bully Ray as a character.
Sure.
And I love him as a wrestler when he got real beefy and jacked, and then but he is literally the last person I want at training anyone. He will purposely give you a concussion so you know what it feels like. S writes, I can totally imagine the QAnon shaman guy at a Fozzy show.
Big time.
Oh, 100%.
Big time.
Honestly, there is going to be a character of a QAnon shaman one day, and I think that's a great idea. I think Buddy Murphy should be that character.
Yeah.
Moving on. Anything? Any other your favorite Daphne match or moment?
Her winning the cruiserweight title is really fun.
Shane Helms?
I think it was she ended up pinning Crowbar because she was checking on him and she put her hands on his shoulders and she won the cruiserweight title. Her scream, the Scream Queen thing. I will never forget her scream as a 10-year-old watching her scream in the ring and me being like, I'm into this. I didn't know why, but I was into it.
Oh, hell yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Dirty dog. Moving on. We got some retirement news. Awesome Kong officially retires from professional wrestling at NWA Empower. I love Awesome Kong. Everyone loves Awesome
really
Kong.
Awesome.
Do you have a favorite Awesome Kong memory match?
I don't have a specific... Well... No.
There's a period in the Knockouts division when she was absolutely my favorite wrestler at the time. And I'm actually just watching a lot of her stuff now because of this thing. And she, the implant buster is such a fun. She gets you, launches them. Such a cool move. And such a cool character. Yeah. Love her to death.
Yeah.
Love her to death.
I think she's the first like North American wrestler, female wrestler. And of course, like pre-2015, well, I don't know about that. Anyway, she's the first North American female wrestler who was big, like tall and big, who wasn't treated as a joke. She was a monster. She was a killer. China, sure. But China also ended up mostly wrestling men.
Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, but Beth Phoenix, that's fair. I think in presentation, though, like...
Nicole Baz. Sure.
Nicole Baz. But yeah, I was a big fan of her work. I think her and Gail Kim had some really good matches. Mm-hmm. I also think Gail Kim's fantastic.
My favorite moment of hers, though, is when she was in the Rumble and she fucking launched that guy out of the ring. What's his name? Umberto? I forget. But she was in the Rumble.
When? Back in the day.
Yeah, Karma. When she was
Karma, right, yeah.
She came in and she was in the men's Rumble. And she just launched a guy out of the ring. He ran at her, and she just fucking threw him out. It was pretty cool. Check out that clip of Karma just launching a guy out of the ring. And we have more retirement news. It's official. It's a sad day. CM Punk has retired from MMA. It's official. He's no longer getting drug tested for it, and we'll never know. We'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know what could happen there.
What could have happened? What's your favorite CM Punk MMA memory?
Actually, you know what's funny? I went to I have this very vivid memory of our friend Alex Merkin. I won tickets in a raffle to a college football game, and it included a buffet. So I took Alex so we could eat for free. And then we went back to the theater that we were a part of, and I had a laptop set up in this little back room, and we watched like CM Punk's first MMA fight, and I was so excited about it. I was like, this is going to be great. There's no way he would get himself involved in something where he would just get completely crushed. Sure. False. He got completely crushed.
It's very funny to see him get beat up, especially when he comes out to the ring all smiley, and he's like, yeah! And I remember thinking, like, then I'm just like, this guy's going to get his face chewed up because he's coming in with the wrong attitude. Like, oh, the adulation. It's good to be into the fans again. I love you guys. He's like smiling. And then I think it was Mickey Gall or something like that.
Mickey Gall destroyed him.
And he's just getting ready for a fight. He's going to have a fight. And then CM Punk like, yeah. Loved it. We got S here. Kia Stevens was great in Glow. It sucks that Netflix canceled that show. She has a future as an actress. Much respect for her in the ring and on screen.
Definitely.
I agree. I really enjoyed her on that show. Even though I'm not a huge fan of the show, because I feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities. They could have really talked about, how hard it is to be a woman in wrestling, rather than just being like, we're doing this together. Like, It could have been talking about a lot of serious topics.
Then.
Yeah, especially then. And they didn't use any of the real old characters. I wanted Meat. You ever see Meat?
Yeah.
Check out the old Glow. It's pretty terrible. Moving on. Just some, I got some quick hitters.
Yeah,
some quick
hitters.
Tajiri's heading to MLW.
That's really exciting.
Tajiri.
Yeah. He's also, I think he's debuting in the ECW arena, too, which is really exciting.
Smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited about that. We have a new NWA champion crowned last week, Trevor Murdoch.
How do you feel about that?
I love Trevor.
Yeah, I thought you loved Trevor Murdoch. That's awesome.
I like his style. I like his style. I would like him to lose 20 pounds.
Okay.
Just a little bit, because he's a little sluggish. Like, I liked him when he was in WWE, and he was chunky, but he could move. Now he's a lot slower. A lot slower.
And I think something to mention here too, and I don't know what the exact number is, but like, he beat Nick Aldis, who had been NWA champion for like 600 days.
Yeah.
So good for him. It's great.
Pretty crazy. Just watching that pay-per-view though, especially that opening package, the John Goodman package.
Yes.
Pretty cool. But then you're seeing like Harley Race and Ric Flair and all these people, and then you see what's his name? Jim Storm. What's his name?
Jim Dad, Jane Storm. Oh, no.
What's his name?
Tim Storm.
But
we called him. Do you remember when we saw him wrestle locally and we called him Jim Dad? Yeah.
But like it's just like total, like, you can't show those people then show Jim Dad to us. Very weird stuff. And a last piece of news that I have before we talk about the other piece of news that we're talking about. Yeah. We have AEW Dark is moving to Universal Studios in a studio setting.
My God.
I'm excited for just a different presentation.
I'm so pumped up. I can't believe I am. Because what you were talking about, right? You were watching the WCW show that was on UPNs on like Sunday, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
I think I had it on CW. Oh, WB.
WB? Yeah, absolutely. And it was always in this like very small kind of controlled studio environment. And it just was always a fun looking show. Yeah. And I can't wait for it. And that's what Tony Khan said. Tony Khan said he wants to bring back that vibe. And I love it. I'm so excited. Ugh.
Very excited for it. Very fun stuff. We can't wait. And I'm just, again, excited for a new presentation. Very excited for a new presentation. But we have this piece of news. There's big changes in NXT. Let's talk about it, Royster. Yeah. Apparently, Vince and Bruce Pritchard would be running the show, but apparently they're not. That was debunked already, and they're really just it was just a non-news to me. But you have something to say about it. What do you want to say?
I do. This Red, gosh, where do we even start? There's a lot of tie-ins here. I was talking to a couple of friends about this, and people are like, I think RIP NXT was trending on Twitter earlier this week. Because it is dying in the form that we've all known and loved for the last few years. But
you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into what I mean by that. But this goes out to everybody who's watching this right now, and I don't know, but yeah, I'm so grateful to be doing this, and I thought about it, and I was like, am I sad if NXT goes away the way we've had it for the last few years and these big shows with all these excellent workers? Am I sad about it? No, I'm not. Good riddance. And I'll tell you why. I loved those shows. And I remember watching some with you and other friends and just being like, this is the highlight of the month, or these NXT shows. And they're so good. They're so great. And they were. However, those shows were put together because Triple H and the WWE was attempting to kill independent wrestling by signing all of its best, most popular wrestlers. He was trying to take out all of these independent promotions the way Vince tried to take out the territories in the 80s. And I'm just so grateful that it didn't work. And I'll tell you what. You know how you know it didn't work? I've watched and will continue to watch this weekend, since Thursday. From Thursday to Sunday night, I will watch 7 different wrestling shows that are in no way affiliated with the WWE. And only one, well, I guess 2, including Rampage, are AEW related. They're all different independent shows that exist right now and that are packed and exciting and different
available.
And available, exactly.
And available.
It's just such a wonderful time to be a professional wrestling fan, better than ever.
It is. And honestly, I'm excited for them to be going back to their roots.
Yes.
Because honestly, WWE has a very strong suit when it comes to create the character builders, the character storyline things, and them deviating and going into this neutering like a different style wrestlers so that they can fit this format, force them in. It just doesn't work. I don't buy a lot of the people that they bring up. I don't enjoy the shows, but that's also less the problem with the wrestlers and more the problem with the writers. But either way, I'm excited about the change.
Yeah,
I'm excited about the change.
And that's the thing. Like, I already see. I think we've said this before. Chica Marks, I have that Black Label Pro show paused, and I'm going to start watching it after this is over because there's just Daniel Garcia's wrestling Filthy Tom Lawler. I'm all about it. We'll get. I just think NXT, going back to what it was 5-6 years ago, when it was like truly kind of a developmental territory, is exactly what I want to see. And I will start watching NXT when it's just like a big guy named Duke Hudson throwing people around. Like, I want to see that. I don't want to see like a watered down version of an independent show. I can see that somewhere else. I love that WWE's going back to making it a developmental territory, like you said. I think it's fantastic.
I'm excited about it. We're all excited about it, and good things happening. And I think that's the end of the news. That's the last bit of news. That's the last bit of news. But we're going to be talking AEW All Out right now. This is our prediction show as well.
Yes.
We really like to spice things up. As you can see down here, it's also predictions. Yes. Even though we say news, but we're also doing predictions today. So let's go through the card. Do you have the card up?
I'm going to pull the card up. And how I'd like to do this, Red, is because I think your brain is far more fun and far more interesting, especially for something like this. So I'm just going to go through the matches, and I want to hear your predictions on who you think is going to win and just a vague idea of how they'll win the match.
Okay, I like this.
All right. So first off, let me pull up the card here. It's taking a second. Let's see. Okay.
We should do this for WWE too.
We
honestly.
should. Yeah,
this is very fun.
Very fun.
This is very fun.
So let's start with the pre-show match, which is Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Wheeler Yuta, along with Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus, versus the Hardy Family Office, which is going to be Matt Hardy, Private Party, and the Hybrid 2. Who do you think wins, and what roughly do you think the finish is?
It's going to be Best Friends and Jurassic Express. I can't imagine the Hardys, that crew winning anything. They really nuked. Like, it's just a bad stable. It's a bad stable. And Hybrid 2 need to get out of it. They need to get out of it. I love them so much. TH2, all about them. Need to get out. They're better off on their own. But how is it going to win? It's just going to be it's going to be their usual opening, get people hyped. It's going to be very fast paced. And I see. Oh, actually, scratch it. Hardy's winning.
Okay.
Matt Hardy's going to win because Matt Hardy has this thing going where he sneaks in these wins, and that's how he's getting his heat. And they kind of, honestly, they need someone on that level to be a heel. That's someone that's going to help elevate people on the low card. And he needs to have something. Otherwise, why is he even there? Why are they even a threat if they're not getting wins?
Very good point.
Even though I don't care about this match at all. I do not care about this match at all. I care so little about this match. Red is so good at predictions. Stop it, Chica Marks. Stop it.
It's true.
So yeah, I'm predicting Matt Hardy wins, and it's gonna be a cheap thing. Sneaky, backhanded, roll up, something like that. Yep. But that's how it's gonna be.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. So that's the pre-show match. And now the first match on the card, I mean, who knows if this is going to be the order, but first match on the card is the 21-woman casino battle royale for a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. Should I list the people in the match?
Yeah. Listen.
All right. So we've got Nyla Rose, Thunder Rosa, The Bunny, Big Swole, Julia Hart, Ty Conti, Diamante, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Hikaru Shida, Emi Sakura, Jade Cargill, Kiera Hogan, Abaddon, Layla Hirsch, Colleen King, Rebel, Jamie Hayter, Anna Jay, Riho, Sky Blue, and it says one woman to be announced. So,
okay, so it's going to be Ruby Soho is going to win. If she's in it, she's winning.
Who do you think are going to be the final four? And you think Ruby Soho is going to win, but who are the final four with her?
Jade Cargill, Ty Conti. I see someone like a Julia Hart, someone like that's kind of like up and comer that they feel good about, and Nyla Rose. With the mystery person, whoever the mystery person is. Yep. That's who I see it's going to be. And if it's not the mystery person, if it's someone that's just a joke or someone like Vicky or someone like that, I see Ty Conti winning.
Nice.
Ty, I would want Jay Cargill, but they're not booking Britt Baker the way I want her to be booked, which is as this monster face.
Yep.
That has to face monster heels. But so they're going to have Ty Conti go and get neutered by Britt Baker. So yeah, just going to kill all her heat.
Brutal.
Even though Ty, well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's
not booking her right.
It's not untrue. All right. Well, the next match that we have is going to be a North America versus Japan match. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Sure.
Jon Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima.
Yeah.
Who do you think takes this home?
Jon Moxley. That guy, I do not know his name. Was it?
Kojima.
Kojima is old. And
Yes.
They're not going to have Jon Moxley lose to an old guy on American TV. Jon Moxley is easily winning this. Is there a stipulation to this match?
There's no stipulation, but do you see this kind of just being like a hard-hitting kind of sprint of a match, like a 10-minute, they just hit each other really hard, and then Moxley wins?
I can't imagine this being too long, but it's going to be a hard-hitting match. It'll be fun. It'll be fun because I've seen him before, but I know very little about him. But I just know that it's going to be a hard-hitting match that Jon Moxley is gonna win.
Yep.
Not too many thoughts about it from there.
But as always, I speak for both of us when I say that we're both supporters of Satoshi Kojima's Bread Club. This guy loves bread.
That's right. That's a lot of bread. Moet loves the bread.
Loves bread.
You love the bread.
Yeah.
I'm fair with the bread. I'm learning about it as we go.
All right. Next match. And now this one is, I want you to predict the winner and the length of this match.
I want you to predict the winner and the loser.
Well, there's a reason why I want you to predict the length. Because it's Paul White versus QT Marshall, or Marshall.
God.
How long do you think this match is going to be, and who wins?
It's going to be Big Show. Paul White. It's going to be Paul White. It's going to be, unfortunately, too long. It's going to be, unfortunately, too long. It's going to be like 5 minutes, I think. Because it's going to be a lot of QT doing cute shit around the ring, running around, running away from him. And, or they do something real stupid and have QT win, which is done by hitting him with a chair or something like that, getting a purposeful DQ.
Spanking him in the
Spanking
butt
him with a chair. Spanking him in the butt with a chair. That's his weakness. We found out from Billy Gunn. Actually, there's I don't know what's going to happen here because I just don't see Paul White as a viable player, as someone that's able to do a lot moving forward. He didn't look good when he was having these beatdowns. So I'm curious to see how it goes. Not a great, not my first choice for a Paul White coming back. Honestly, it ruined the whole moment for me of him coming back as facing QT Marshall. Mm-hmm. I'm going to say 5 minutes. Paul White goes up.
All right, fantastic. I think they need to build him up a couple matches. He needs to win a couple matches, fight Shaq, and then retire.
Yeah, he just needs to fight Shaq. Just fight Shaq.
Yep.
Fight Shaq.
Absolutely. All right. The next match.
I see Shaq coming out to this.
Oh, wouldn't that be? What if that's what that guy was talking about? He's like, we got a couple more surprises. It's Shaq.
That actually makes some sense. I see Shaq coming out, but I don't know why Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I just don't get it. Sound off if you understand any of those.
Yeah.
Just a Hong Kong.
Okay, next match for the AEW TNT Championship. We've got Miro versus Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, the Miro, of course. Eddie Kingston. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a good match. I'm excited for it. Eddie Kingston has a habit of either being really good or really uncomfortable to watch. And so I feel like this is going to be one of those very good ones. It's hard for me to believe his offense. It's hard for me to
Eddie
believe
Kingston's.
his offense. Yeah, because like we mentioned in earlier episodes, he moves like an action figure with only 4 points of articulation. He moves his hips and his arms and never his elbows.
Interesting.
Very strange. Who will we find out who took Shaq? No, we will never find out.
Hey, it might pay off. It
will not. They forgot about it. Why did they do that? That's so funny. I wonder what their plan was. What was their plan for a missing Shaq?
I think we'll find out, but I don't think they'll tell us that we're finding out. And what I mean by that is, and we'll get more into this maybe later, Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander, which we'll talk about in a minute. When Britt hurt her knee last year and she had to have surgery on her knee and she was just in a wheelchair for a few months coming out and cutting promos, she started doing that whole, like, it's a conspiracy against me thing. And one of the main people that she was conspiracizing, that's not a word, against was Chris Statlander. And the other person was Nyla Rose. And she's beat them both, but they're not telling us. They don't pay it off.
Yeah, they're not doing that. But that's because those are people that care. You know, and so Shaq doesn't care. He's not going to push for them to be like, wait, what happened to my? I would love for Shaq whenever he comes out, whenever he does come back, an ambulance to come to the ring and he gets out of it. Like, I think Shaq should always have the gimmick of coming out of an ambulance.
That's really good. The back, he's not driving it. He's in the back of it.
Never driving it. But I see. Miro winning against Eddie Kingston.
All right. And then we have, if Jericho loses, he must retire from in-ring competition in AEW only. Chris Jericho versus MJF.
Bye, Jericho. Bye. Bye. And he'll march right to the announcer's desk. God, can't take it. It's going to end up being Rikishi. Oh, man. Poor Rikishi.
Yes, what a good callback. What a good reference.
Let's talk about Rikishi real quick. You heard about Rikishi?
Oh, that is really sad.
Heartbreaking. Yeah. I was going to put it in the news, but I decided not to. Yeah. Rikishi's niece was murdered. Very sad. Very sad.
So I don't think for the killer.
Rikishi. I don't think it's going to be Rikishi.
But do you remember the callback? It hit Steve Austin with the car.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
No,
this is different. Nobody was hit with a car. Shaq disappeared in the ambulance. It's gonna be Mystico or someone. Who's the magician wrestler?
Oh wow, the guy from like the 90s. Yeah. Maybe it's just David Blaine. Let's just get David Blaine.
Let's get David Blaine in here, making Shaq disappear. That's a big trick. That's a big trick. But yeah, that's my take on that. Bye, Jericho. MJF's gonna win. I honestly could not believe anything different. I can't believe anything different.
I will say that last night on Rampage, maybe Chris Jericho listens to Loser Leaves Wrestling because he didn't yell as much on commentary. He spoke a lot more than he did yell. He did yell still, but
he has to stop yelling. Yeah. But TK maybe talked him up. Maybe, and one of the thing is, it's going to be good because Jericho's not bad on commentary. It's just that he has to learn to just calm down just a little bit. And now if he's able to focus just on that, he'll probably get better.
Yeah, and CM Punk came out and did commentary during the main event last night, which was Darby
So there was
Allin.
12 people on commentary?
There were 4 people. He took Mark Henry's place.
Jesus Christ.
Because Mark Henry. But actually, did he take... it might have been all 5, actually. And
then Mark Henry just couldn't get a word in?
He said a couple of things, I think. I don't remember, so clearly maybe he didn't. But they... Oh, boy. I think Jericho kept trying to joke around with Punk about like their matches in WWE. Punk wasn't having it. Punk was not into it.
Be a fucking professional for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, moving on to the steel cage match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We have the Young Bucks potentially with number 1 stooge Brandon Cutler versus the Lucha Brothers with Alex Abrahantes.
I swear I don't want Brandon Cutler a part of this. Like, the point of a steel cage is to keep people out. Why not have some integrity with it? Some integrity in this match. Make it actually like it's doing something. I just don't want Brandon Cutler on my screen anymore. I don't want to see him. I think it's going to be Young Bucks are going to win.
Okay.
I think they should win because I don't think Lucha Bros should be the ones to take it off them. But if they do, fine. I really feel very little about this match. I do predict Young Bucks are winning.
Okay. All right. You'd be against Brandon Cutler potentially climbing the cage and then falling in like a big, aggressive, terrible way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate Brandon Cutler. I hate Brandon Cutler. I don't want to see him do anything. I don't want to see him do anything. Brandon Cutler.
That's one of the only things I think Jim Cornette says that's very funny is calling him Brandon Cutler.
He says a lot of really funny things.
I don't know.
He's terrible.
I don't know. All right. We have next, we already touched on it earlier, but we have for the Women's Championship, we have Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, with Rebel against Chris Statlander.
Britt Baker, forever. If Chris Statlander wins, I'd be so shocked. So shocked. I like Chris Statlander, but they haven't built. No one's been built up the way Britt has. No one's been built in a way that Britt has, and it would be a really stupid idea to feel that that's the way to get someone over is when you have someone super hot and someone very lukewarm, and then having the lukewarm person win.
Sure,
it feels stupid. It feels very stupid. That's not a way to get Statlander over.
Does Britt Baker win clean or with assistance from Rebel and Jamie Hayter?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's gonna be a whole bunch of that. Jamie Hayter, Rebel, a bunch of that shit.
Oh yeah, sure, a bunch of that.
A bunch of that bullshit. It's unnecessary. They should just let people like her because that's what they want to do. It's stupid to keep it the opposite way.
If Ruby Soho wins the Battle Royal, do you have her come out for a stare down after Britt Baker wins? Especially if Britt Baker doesn't win clean and wins with an assist?
Yeah. Yeah. With the winner of the Casino Battle Royale, do they face them at a specific time, or is it like whenever you want?
They just make the announcement. It'll probably be in like 3 or 4 weeks on Dynamite. It's not like anything specific.
Because I almost see it being someone else in the Royal, and then Soho comes out anyway, just to stare down, you know?
Yeah.
They like doing that. They like to have several different people feuding against one person at a time, which I kind of like sometimes.
Yeah,
but
keeps it interesting.
Keeps it a little cluttered.
All right. Then we've got the match everybody's been waiting for. After 7 years away from professional wrestling, the ultimate good guy and babyface, CM Punk, versus the man who beats to his own drum, Darby Allin.
You fucking nerd. I feel like JL right now, you fucking loser.
Do you feel better about, what did he say, about not having a job and being a man-child? I think that's what he said about us.
JL,
we each
troll.
Pay rent.
I love our troll. I wish our troll comes back so S could go beat him up. Love you, S. Yes, I think it's going to be CM Punk's winning. CM Punk is definitely winning. It'd be kind of stupid for them to do otherwise. And it's gonna be a good match. 15. I'm gonna guess not too long. It's not gonna be a barn burner. It's kind of like him trying to get his wheels back. So I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes, something like that. And it's gonna be a good match. I'm very excited for it. I do predict that's when Daniel Bryan's coming out.
I was gonna ask you about this.
Daniel Bryan's coming out at the end of that match.
Wow.
At the end of that match, he's like because he's just trying to prove something. He comes out, and then all of a sudden, like just the yes chants start while he's coming to the ring. Like it's great.
Wow, interesting. Okay.
They need to have a match, and they should have had that should have been the first match.
That's crazy to me, but I would have loved that.
Let's get that match in there. That's what people want.
So,
best in the world versus the best in the world.
Wow. Okay. Well, everyone is predicting that Bryan Danielson's going to come out after our next and final match, which is Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW Championship. Who's going to win it, and how do you think he's going to win it?
Who's going to win it? How do you think he's going to win it? Kenny Omega's winning it. If they do it the other way, I don't get what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they're putting so much faith into Christian. And I love Christian, but that's a lot. So yeah, Kenny's winning. Actually, that's a better. Why not scratch what I said before? This is when Daniel Bryan. I agree with this. Daniel Bryan comes out here, and because Daniel Bryan should be the one to beat Kenny Omega.
Interesting.
I think 100%. They should fight. Daniel Bryan should win. hold the title for a little bit, having these dream matches with all these people. Then Punk faces them, and Punk wins.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see that. I think a lot of people are predicting, as am I. I feel like the pay-per-view closes with a stare down between Danielson and Kenny Omega. Do you want to hear my ludicrous fantasy booking that I have for this?
Sure.
So,
those would be good fights. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, Chica Marks.
What I would love to see is, because no matter how many people AEW sign, they have to go back to their homegrown talent, and they have to keep growing this homegrown talent. So what I think they do, I've been wanting them to do this forever. I wanted them to do this with Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, but Bryan Danielson comes into the company, and Kenny Omega says, "Oh, you're here. That's great. But I talked to Tony Khan, and you actually haven't signed a contract yet. You're here, and it's a verbal agreement, but nothing. There's no ink to paper. And until there's ink to paper, you can't fight me for this AEW title." And Danielson's like, "Oh, no big deal. I don't want to fight for the title, but I know someone who does." Hangman comes back, and Hangman and Kenny fight, and then Hangman beats Kenny for the title, and then Danielson and Kenny can have a feud without the title, and Hangman can go on and fight Punk and fight all these different people. Hangman.
No. No, because I like. What about Hangman? Bye. He's got a kid right now.
Everybody's got a kid.
He's got a baby, a little bouncing baby boy. I don't know if it's a boy, but I think that
you heard it here first, folks. Hangman had a boy.
I'm not gendering this baby. The baby could be whatever they want. But I think Hangman's going to be away for a little bit longer. I see him coming back maybe in wintertime.
Sure.
And then he could restart what he's been doing. But yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he has lost a little bit of steam.
We'll see what happens. Well, that's it. That's the prediction. That's our prediction show.
That's a prediction show, friends.
You did a great job.
We're all excited. You did a great job. I'm still hungover. Thank you all so much for watching. They all have babies. I realize that. There's too many babies.
A lot of babies out there.
We got to get rid of these babies.
We got to start adopting.
Yes.
There's a lot of families, a lot of children out there. We need to. That's the moral of today's podcast.
Babies. Yeah, let's stop creating babies and start picking them up. They're on the streets. They're everywhere. Just grab a few. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Loser Leaves Wrestling, the news you can't lose, and AEW All Out Predictions. Please follow us on all the things. Podcasting. Oh, I'm starting to feel real sick right now. Thank you all so much for watching. My name is Red Jefferson, and I'm here with Roy Hammer. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Say bye, Roy.
Bye. See ya. How do I end the stream?
Or train them for future AEW Toddler Tag Team.
Nice.
Toddler Tag Team titles. Thank you.
Amazing.
Oh, my God.
We're done.